exosuit!
Howdy, welcome back to the 80s Toy Museum. Taking a look at a modern toy today that never was but should have been in the 80s. It's good old Spike, part of the Studio Series line, and it's my favorite modern line of Transformers, and I think it's the best of many of the different lines, Siege and Legacy and whatever else they're calling it this week. But I'm loving the Studio Series. This guy I don't believe is going to be in scale with some of the other Legacy Series Transformers. I'll have him next to some of the other guys, whoops, in just a few minutes. But this particular one is Spike in his exosuit, and I've already got one up here. It's a masterpiece, Spike in exosuit, and there's Daniel as well. Ended up getting a KO just to get another one of the suits, and then a third-party custom head for Daniel. This one looks really good though, and quite affordable, won't break the bank. And if you can't find it at your local store, head over to Big Bad Toy Store. They'll hook you up there. Check out the link in the video description as always. Some custom artwork on the side here. Fantastic artwork of Mr. WITWICKY in his exosuit. Really nicely done. And then a close-up on the other side of his face. Core class. No window, as is standard these days. And then a look on the back of both the exosuit mode as well as the vehicle mode of it. And I really wanted to get this one side by side with the Masterpiece version, which I'll do in just a few minutes as well. And man, is he ever bright white. He's blowing my camera out here. Hard to light. Everything else is looking so dark because he's so bright white. There's a word of warning on the back of the package here before you throw it away. If you throw things away, we've got something taped to the back of the packaging here. I don't know what it is. Oh, blast effects. Now that's really cool, since part of the suit has blasters in it. We all remember that scene in Transformers the movie, Blast It Son. And when Daniel says he doesn't have a gun, Spike reminds him that the exosuit is a gun. So there are these elbow parts. I always thought that was cool in the movie, the way it made the transformation sound. And basically just the arms turned around to blast. So that should fit right on there. It's a good snug fit. And you can recreate, well, Spike doesn't shoot his exosuit in the movie, but Daniel does, and we'll probably see Daniel come out, probably the exact same mold. Should be the exact same sized suit, just with a Daniel head in there. You get a couple of blast effects, or I guess you can just hook them on there and he can scoot around. Remove those for now. Before I transform him, I just want to kind of futz around and see what's going on here. This is a strange joint right here. You got to keep in mind that even though these are the arms of the exosuit, it's not Spike's arms. I think his arms are supposed to be inside, kind of holding on to some like a control stick on the inside here. So I would imagine that if he got into some kind of a skirmish and the arm was torn off, he would be fine, which kind of doesn't really make much sense, because in that one episode, I think it's Daniel's arm is getting torn in the exosuit. The exosuit's arm is getting torn and he screams, signifying that his arm is sticking through there. But I don't see how that's physically possible. Oh, there's cool. Now that's a cool feature. There is a little slider thing on the back here, which lets you move Spike's head. Awesome. This has always been an issue with figures wearing domed helmets. Ace, from G.I. Joe, who is right over there. Howdy, Ace. Deep 6 as well. That's a cool little extra feature there. Just being able to move that ever so slightly. It's very much appreciated. This has got to be part of the transform. These arms want to move away from the rest of the forearm here, which is weird. It's kind of, it's too bad that that didn't clip right into place somehow to stop it from moving. It's not really like extra articulation if you do that. It just looks wrong. And 360 there. Legs. Yeah, spikes here to kick some butte. If you, it feels at first like the hip, the leg won't move as much. Like this is a common problem with a lot of transformers. This piece right here gets in its own way. But you just keep pushing. He actually has tons of range here. Almost through the splits. Really nice tight joints on this. And I think the arms are just so big and bulky. This is a rare case of the arms seem almost as big as the legs. But there you go. Anytime a figure can do that, color me impressed. That's really good. Joint tolerances, poseability, sturdiness. Really, really nice. This is the reason why I wanted to grab this one. I passed on it a couple of times I saw it at the store because I thought, well, I've got the Masterpiece one. Do I really need another one? And the more I saw it, the more I thought, is this one better? Might be better. So that is robot mode. And before I transform him, I'm going to bring out the Masterpiece version. And that's the Masterpiece version. I don't know where the original head is. It's somewhere in the void of space. This is a, who was that again? Possibly a Dr. Wu head, maybe. And yeah, so it's okay. It's way better than the head that was in there, the standard Masterpiece head, which looked more like this, just kind of a blank head. No eye detail. I don't know if this dome actually comes off. That might be permanently attached. Doesn't feel like it's popping off. The height, it's a little taller. Whoops. This has always been a problem with this one. That is always just popping out way too easily. Different coloration on the two. Kind of gray bluish coloration on the legs. This guy's more baby bluish. They do both have blaster jets on the back there. And in terms of poseability, articulation, this guy's got a little bit. That is just really annoying. Way less articulation in the legs. Oh, he's got a moving flap here actually. The leg won't go forward though as much as on the Studio Series one. Splits are just about the same, and this thing is going to pop off many more times before I'm done playing around with him, that's for sure. Despite that, I think the arms on the Masterpiece are a little bit better just because they don't separate like this guy is, and they're a little bit higher on the body. These are kind of lowered, kind of a little too low for the body. I guess that's a compromise because of the vehicle mode. Almost seems like this part should have flipped around like this in order to get the arms a little higher, more in level with Spike's shoulders. He's kind of got ape arms. Or is this, I guess that's the way it's supposed to go. Okay, that looks way better. So he's incorrect in the package. That looks way better. Still no visible wheels on the Masterpiece version, because they disappeared down here and maybe in there, but now that I've made that fix, I'd say that looks way better. And they actually do tell you in the instructions that's the first thing you're supposed to do. Correct him, because that's just for packaging purposes. Alright, let's give him a transformation. First step is to turn his helmet like that. Unfortunately, he can't look up. He's going to be staring straight into this blank thing, but I guess that's supposed to be a screen or something, maybe. I want you to turn the wheels forward like that, because he'll be rolling on his belly. And the arms, you're going to have this little circular pointing thing pointing towards you, and you're going to have it, the little blaster thing, or whatever that is, pointing at you too. So to do that, just turn that around like that, swing that down, and turn that like that. And next up is the legs, which can be a little bit tricky. You're going to want to turn these legs around because you've got this tab that plug into that hole, and you need to move these hips back like that. So when you move it in like that, you'll be able to move this leg forward like that. There's a nice groove for it to fit into. Plug that in there, and there's wheels on the back of the feet, so it'll be pretty easy to line those all up. And you've got exosuit, vehicle mode, and it's not great. I guess it doesn't look great anyway, even in the movie when it transforms into vehicle mode, but it's kind of a mess, kind of an afterthought looking thing. I do like the blasters that you can put the jets on the back of it. That is a cool idea, but I mean, this is definitely something I would be keeping in robot mode. And I'm going to transform the Masterpiece version, give you a side-by-side comparison of both of them in vehicle mode. But one thing this one has way better over the Masterpiece version is much better at the joints not falling off. And I'm not going to do a full transformation of this, but you can just see how much more involved the Masterpiece transformation process is. So I think this one is going to look better in vehicle mode. And the Masterpiece version in vehicle mode, you could turn this if you wanted to this way, like the Studio Series has. It looks better, but it won't stay together. It's kind of wanting to come apart. One advantage that the Masterpiece version has is these come out. You can just pull them right out, and they're on a ball joint. So even the original head, non-upgraded heads, you can sort of point them up a bit to give that impression of looking forward while driving, which is a lot nicer than the Studio Series. But I mean, it's total different price points. This is economy class, and this is high-end collector, adult collector class. There they are side by side. It's actually not that huge a difference when you see them side by side. It's not like this looks like anything. It's just a complete science fiction looking vehicle. So really, who's to say which one looks more like a futuristic exosuit that transforms? Huge advantage this one has is the blast effect jets, which I don't think you can can't really attach them onto the Masterpiece version. That's unfortunate. This one is definitely easier to transform and more fun. The Masterpiece one is just kind of frustrating, and then you don't even really get anything when you're done. It's not like you get a fantastic alt mode. And the blast effects are actually really awesome. That's so cool that Spike can blast away now in his exosuit. And a couple of side-by-side comparisons. Gotta have him with the original G1 Spike, the very first Spike toy we ever got. Headmaster Spike, the head of Cerebros, who is the head of Fortress Maximus. And you'll be seeing him soon, working on Transformers History 1987. And it's not an official release, but it's Impossible Toys little driver for the original Transformers 84-85 with Diaclone driver seats. This guy actually has working arms and legs, and he can sit in those original Transformers. Well, much different scale on Studio Series Spike. And speaking of Studio Series, a couple of other Studio Series releases. Well, this is actually a buzzworthy cup, which looks more like Cup did in the movie than the actual Studio Series Cup did. And I don't know, the scale in the cartoon was always weird. Sometimes the humans were very big. So in some shots this could be accurate. In general, I think he is just way too big, even if he's in an exosuit. Just way too big to scale with this scale of Transformers. Even though the Studio Series is a smaller scale than Masterpiece, I think he scales a lot better with Masterpiece Transformers. There's Takara's Masterpiece Optimus Prime, who came with a Spike, another Spike figure that was released. And the head in here is quite a bit larger than the head on that Spike. That isn't quite the same scale either. This is maybe a Dr. Wu Partners Spike figure, who was a little bit bigger. Those actually, if you wanted to have a before and after, kind of past and present display, those kind of look nice together. Spike and Spike. The Headmaster doesn't really work at all. You would think the Headmaster suit would be as big as the movie exosuit, if not bigger. And since Optimus is getting cut off in the shot, let's bring in someone who fits the frame a little bit better. Spike's good buddy Bumblebee, the last line of defense on Moonbase 2. And those look really nice together as well. I would actually say that the Studio Series Spike looks even nicer alongside the Masterpiece Bumblebee. Then, back in the background here, the actual official Masterpiece Spike does with Masterpiece Bumblebee. They were packaged together. That's KO in the background. Great way to get a second set of Transformers and not pay insane Masterpiece prices. Yeah, that's quite impressive, especially for the price that they're charging for the Spike. And I prefer the Studio Series Spike over the Masterpiece one now that I've gotten to play around with both of them so much, especially this stuff. These arms just popping off. You can't even move them without that happening. I think I'm just going to use the Studio Series Spike on my Transformers the movie shelf. I just like how he looks more than this one. This one might be more screen accurate, but I don't know, he's kind of lanky looking, and this one just looks more toyetic, looks more retro, what a Spike would have looked like if they made one in 1986, and I just like how he looks with Bumblebee better. And that's how it'll be for now. Might change my mind in a few months or a year. Always nice to have options, but I think that looks really cool. And hopefully they do a Daniel as well. Won't bother me at all if it's the exact same thing, just with a different head. For now, I guess I'll use the Masterpiece one in vehicle mode for Daniel there. So that's what I thought. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and to join the tribe, hit subscribe. Till all are fun.